See the inner city skyline with its industry below, where the mechanical flame breathes life, yet we be the soul. We be the soul. Talking about we be the soul. Yeah, we be the soul, so elusive, but ain't too hard to find, filling in the cracks and crevice of where they once lived, and where they're scared to go at night. From curb to street we dwell, sculpting our dreams like neon, products of the jungle mistaken for concrete. We grind with the hustler spirit, entrenched where trap wrap round, ghostly streets and school days. My block leans empty with lots to match. From gentrified construction to county corruption, we strive through red, white, blues, cause my love is deeper than attractions and the games they play, sports endorsed. We be the heart of outer ring, suburb, urban pushes through my veins. I'm from Cleveland. My people broke north with the shackle drag that forged the trail. From black belt to steel belt, we're rusted, already witnessed the compromise of a promise. See the inner city skyline with its industry below, where the mechanical flame breathes life, yet we be the soul. All right.
This one's called In the Male Utopia. In the male utopia, all the men wear swords and know how to use them. Swords are cool. And the male utopia is very polite. In the male utopia, women outnumber men by 3 to 1. That means that every man can have 3 women. 1 to sleep with, 1 on the side, and 1 just waiting in the wings. In the male utopia, all the women are bisexual. That allows the women to dally with one another when the men are not available. Of course, the women are always available. In the male utopia, none of the men are gay. They are all manly men. The women all know which men are gay, of course. But they see no reason to share this with any of the men. The ones who need to know already do. In the male utopia, all men are equal. Skin color doesn't matter because there's no need for one man to look down on another. There are women for that. The male utopia has no need for prostitution since the women are all sexy and available. But still there are prostitutes because sometimes men just like that. Because now and then they want a woman they don't have to talk to. In the male utopia, there are always wars. Glorious wars for the young men to fight in, with lots of impressive guns and tanks and fighter planes, lasers and rockets and stuff too. Possibly, this is one reason there's such an imbalance of men and women. In the male utopia, there are sports on television every night. Violent sports too. No censorship. In the male utopia, there are lots of bar fights. But afterwards, everybody gets together and buys the other guy a beer. No hard feelings in the camaraderie of the male utopia. In the male utopia, there's plenty of beer. No one orders frilly drinks with fruit and little umbrellas, except maybe sometimes the women. And the bartenders all have time to listen when the men complain. Except the men never complain, of course, because men don't whine. They just take it and shoulder on. And it's the male utopia, so what could they possibly complain about? In the male utopia, nobody drives home drunk. There's always a woman to take the keys. And also the cars have self-driving capabilities, so even if somebody's a little unsteady behind the wheel, the car won't have an accident. And in the male utopia, all the cars are sports cars and there are no speed limits. Every crash has the car burst into flames. But the cars all have ejection seats, so nobody gets hurt. At least, nobody you know. In the male utopia, the men make all the decisions and run the world the way it should be run. The women listen to the men. Of course, the women do the actual work of running the world, And there's so many women and so few men, it's hard to tell whether the women are actually doing what the men said, or something else entirely. But the men think they're running the world, and if perhaps the women actually do run it, they do a good enough job that nobody notices. In the male utopia, nobody questions whether this actually is a utopia. We proudly proclaim this is utopia. And if any of us privately wonders if maybe it might not be, we're smart enough to keep that thought strictly to ourselves.
Let's see how it goes. So I notice as I get older that I think I'm getting more sensitive and more stupid. And the reason I say that is over the past 10 to 20 years, I've gotten more sensitive. For example, I've gotten more sensitive with my skin. So I break out if people tell me, oh, this is natural, won't cause you to break out. Well, as soon as I put it on my skin, I get hives. I've gone and had facials and come out with welts on my face. I can't take narcotics, so I can't be a drug addict. I'm allergic. I had a colonoscopy about 2 years ago and woke up in the middle of it and I had hives all over my body because of the narcotics it gave. I had to have surgery afterwards, and I told them I'm allergic to narcotics. They gave me a spinal, but it didn't work, and I was like, give me some Benadryl and give me some morphine, please. So I should know. So for example, the only thing I can use on my skin is Pond's, okay? About 10 years ago, I had Lasix, right? And so I had, because I'm vain and I didn't want to have to wear glasses. What am I wearing today? Glasses. I had the Lasix and I said, I will never do anything to my eyes ever again. Okay, I actually had to have it done twice because they overcorrected it. So it corrected so much, I had to wear reading glasses. So then I had to go back and have it done again. It's not the most comfortable thing. They put these things in your eyes and your eyes are open and you don't feel anything, but it's just a really weird feeling. So I said, I'll never do anything to my eyes. Well, I've also thought, I'd like to have a breast reduction, I'd like to have liposuction, all these things that as you get older and your body changes, you're like, I don't like this, okay? But I'm like, you're allergic, you shouldn't do anything. Well, I was reading and writing about seeing and about, how you see your partner and the idea that the pupil of the eye is actually when women ovulate. I don't ovulate anymore because I'm postmenopausal, but your pupil gets more dilated and you're able to connect more with your partner. So I'm like, well, maybe I should get some eyelash extensions. Maybe I should, people look at your eyes and I'd like to have long eyelashes, mascara's not enough. So why don't I go get some eyelash extensions? So I went to this place and I'm sitting there and I'm allergic, right? And so I said, do you ever have anybody have any allergies? And they're like, oh no, we haven't had anybody have any allergies. I didn't Google it like I should have. But they're like, oh no, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. So what they do is your eyes are closed for about 2 hours and they put glue on your eyes and they stick eyelashes on, right? So it was done, and when it was done, I looked at my eyes and my eyelashes are beautiful, but my eyes are red. And I said, is this, allergic reaction? And they're like, oh, no, it'll go away. It's just because your eyes are closed for 2 hours. The next morning, I woke up, my eyes were swollen and red. I said, this is an allergic reaction. So I called and I went back and they took the eyelashes off. Over the course of the day, my eyes got more and more swollen, started leaking fluid out of my eyes. And I called my friend who's an allergist. She said, get some steroids. Well, by now it's 6 o'clock in the evening. Now I'm a doctor, I can write my own prescription. I wrote my prescription, found a 24-hour pharmacy, went to the pharmacy to get some steroids. They told me that they don't process the prescriptions that quickly, so it wouldn't be ready till the next day. Over the course of the night, I'm waking up every 2 hours. I'm going and looking in the mirror. I looked like Quasimodo. Okay? My eyelids were 4 times the size that they should have been. There's fluid leaking out of my eyes, and I can barely open my eyes. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning now, so I said, you know what, let me go to the ER. I drove myself to the ER, and I was so ashamed. I'm a doctor. I went and had eyelash extensions. So of course they gave me some more steroids, and I actually got them. I still couldn't get the prescription filled because it was 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. So finally got the steroids, but my eyes were still not, getting better. So I ended up going to the eye doctor. I still went to work the next day, went to the ophthalmologist, and was just so embarrassed, to say, here I am, a grown woman, a doctor who knows she's allergic to shit, and I go and get eyelash extensions. So ended up having to take steroid drops 4 times a day for a week, twice a day for a week after that. And finally, even now, it's been a week since I stopped the steroid drops and the medication and was on oral steroids, and my eyes still don't feel completely right. So don't do stupid shit.